Hold on.
Well,
Is
we're
this the
recording.
audio? I think this is the audio. Wait, can you? We need. I don't know. Like, is the sound okay?
I mean, I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, and I hope that the townspeople can hear us. If you are not a visual learner, you will not know what is occurring. But if you are a visual learner, you know that we are not in the same room together, Miss Nick and I.
No, due to scheduling conflicts, we're coming to you live from Zoom.
Hello, Zoom. And honestly, this is so many like things I consume are done through Zoom too. Well, not so many, but this isn't like unusual. And like Nick and I were talking about, hey, like if instead of stressing out so much about being in the same room together, how about we try doing something on Zoom? And I think it's gonna be fine. I think the chemistry's still there. We'll see.
Well,
Well, and honestly, that wasn't even like the main concern because then it turns out that the charger that I use for my laptop, literally as I was opening my laptop to charge to get on the Zoom call, I plug it in and then the base, like the motherboard of the charger, like suddenly just starts like like literally sparking, and I smell, that smell of burnt. It smelled like burnt. It smells like wet. Well, it smells
does
like
one of
burnt.
well, if it's not one thing, it's another. At this point,
It
it's
really is, and it's like
does your roommate have a charger you could borrow?
not for this old ass computer.
They don't have a Mac?
Yeah, but honey, this is a Mac from 20. It's like your Mac. Your Mac is 2010.
It
Mine's
doesn't hurt
2010.
to ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. I'm just saying, just reach out to your community and just say, hey, does anyone have a charger I could borrow?
Wait, let me try to plug it in again.
Girl, don't start a fire. At this point, I'm nervous for you.
Yeah, no, yeah. At this point, that could probably like ruin the actual laptop if I, yeah, because I heard sparks and shit, like, and it stops charging. But
Why don't you just
anyway,
text your roommate group chat just to be like, anyone have an old Mac charger I could borrow?
well, I don't even know. I think one of them is home, but not the rest. Anyway, I'm Pioneer Peru.
I'm Trailblazer Nick. This is Pioneers
Pioneers
and
and Trailblazers.
Trailblazers.
And what sucks too is that like I have so many juicy stories for my sister,
Well,
and
then
by
text your
juice.
roommate group chat. Just say, hey, does anyone have a Mac charger? Just reach out and ask.
Well, I'm gonna text right now
Hey,
while you talk.
You're always yelling at me for being like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Now the
No.
tables have turned, bitch.
Okay, well, give us an update on the week real quick. We'll let a text.
Well, no, I have like juicy stories and like I want you to be paying attention to it because
Well, I
girl,
know I will be paying attention to trust and belief, but I just want to send this text. Tell the townspeople. I don't know. What can we tell them while I text?
I'll have to talk about last night. Last night I went out with my friend Gabby, who I talked about maybe like a couple weeks ago. I went and saw this show that she directed that Peru was supposed to come and see with me, and then he bailed at the last minute because my sister hates me.
How did I bail?
You just weren't feeling it. You remember you were like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go see a college show.
We already talked about this.
I know, but I'm saying I hung out with her. I'm giving context.
Oh, got it, got it, got it.
So then last night we got dinner because I texted her and I was like, "Oh my God, Diva! Like, let's talk about the show," because we didn't really get to unpack it because her cast was there and she was like, "Oh, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of it while they're all here, where they can like overhear me." And I was like, "No worries, girl." So we like went and got dinner. We went to Waverly Diner in the West Village, which, girl, their prices have skyrocketed in a way that
Girl, Trump's America.
we literally sat down and they gave us the menu and I looked and I was like, why is it $22 for a fucking wrap? A wrap.
Well, a wrap of what? Just cheese?
No, it was a chicken. I got a chicken pesto wrap. It was honestly very delicious, but I was like, girl, why is it so expensive? And so then we did dinner and then she's like, "Do you want to do drinks?" And I was like, "Oh my God." Normally she doesn't ever like normally we do like one thing because she's kind of like me where like she gets tired pretty easily and is kind of like a grandma and like doesn't stay out very late. Um And so I was just like kind of expecting us just to do dinner and call it at that. And then next thing I know, we like leave the diner and she was like, "Do you want to get a drink?" And I was like, "Wait, okay." We go to this like cute little like cocktail bar in the West Village and like we did one round of drinks and then the bartender who was so hot that there were two really hot bartenders. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God. Breaking news,
"You got a
breaking
charger?"
news. So sorry to interrupt this program, but this is Peru Flores reporting live from Pioneers and Trailblazers headquarters. And I did receive a text from two of my roommates saying, one, they definitely have this one, but I don't think she's home. And the other one said that she will bring the one that she has to give her 2 minutes. So we have live
Perfect.
updates, but no, but we don't know if that's the one that I need. I know the other one, my other roommate that has the one that I need, I don't think she's home. So we may
Wait,
need
but
to
did she
figure.
say that she had it?
She said I have that one because
Oh,
I
so just
I sent a
be like, can I
picture
go
of
into your
like the
room?
plugin, you know.
Be like, can I go into your room?
We'll see.
Okay.
Well, wait, this actual tea because this is the roommate, and I'll talk about this behind the paywall, unfortunately. But this is the roommate that I'm gonna be talking about something that she did. Remember when I texted you, I was cleaning stuff? Remember I texted you like 4 days ago, 5 days ago?
Sure. Sure. I don't
Oh,
remember.
oh, oh, I'll be telling you about. Hold on,
Oh, okay.
hold on. I need
Oh,
to see they're here.
okay, pause.
Wait, hold on, pause, pause. We can even edit this, but hold on.
Well, I mean, I will edit it, obviously. But anyway, so then I got drinks. We did 2 rounds of drinks. It was the bartenders were super sexy. I wanted them to fuck me. I wanted them to take me to Paris. They were very much my type. They were not feeling it. The one that I really wanted was like a short king with like a full dark beard and like very kind of like swoopy dark hair, tatted the fuck up. And I was like, ooh, neat. He was not my personal bartender. Is that good? Is this a work? Oh, does it not fit? Wait, I'm so sad. What's happening? Does it work? Is it working?
Well, we're about to try. But Nick, you're literally watching me do this. Have I even plugged it in? Townspeople, have I
You
even
ran up
plugged
to your
this in?
computer and then you ran back with the charger, so I thought it didn't work.
Hold on.
Damn. Okay, whatever. Giving me
Okay, so
attitude.
it's being plugged in right now. It's being plugged in. Now it's being inserted. Yeah,
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Okay, cool.
we're so back. We're
We're
so
so back.
back. Okay.
See, and
Anyway,
this would have not happened had you not what? Reached out to your community. Thank you. Thank you. And everyone say thank you, Nick. Thank you,
I'm the
Nick.
first one to reach out to my community, okay?
Okay, so then anyway, back to me.
Uh,
So then we got drinks, and so we did 1 round of drinks, and then the bartender comes back, and at this point we were at the bar for like an hour and a half sipping one drink because we were like so like involved in our conversation because we haven't like caught up like that in a while, and she's like going through stuff, and I was like slowly trying to like crack her and break her down so she'll like tell me because I'd ask her a question about something and she'd be like, yeah, she's like, I don't know, like I don't really want to talk about that right now, but like we can talk about this. And I'd be like, yeah, sure. And then I'd be like, so wait, this other thing that you didn't want to talk about, like, can I ask you a question? But like you don't have to address it like directly. And she'd be like, okay. And so then I'd ask a question, and then all of a sudden she's like, okay, fine, we can talk about it. And I'm like, yes. And it was so juicy. And then the bartender was like, "You want to do another round?" And I looked at her and she looked at me and she goes, "I'll do another one." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do another one."
Nick.
I was out. I didn't get home until 1 in the morning, and I was not. I we met up at like 6:30. We met up at 6:30. I was out for like hours. I was like,
So
okay,
much juice.
huh?
So much juice.
Yeah, it was a lot of juice. But I'll get into my. I had sex. I had sex this week. I've had sex twice this week.
Well,
So this past
well, hold on.
not
Hold on. When was it? I'm also eating.
well, we can tell.
Um, when was it
When was what?
that you had your gig?
First gig was last Friday.
Because I'm trying to keep days have been like just fleeting to me lately. I
Mm-hmm.
believe no, Cinco de Mayo, I believe it was Tuesday. Tuesday and then yesterday. Between from Tuesday, I had sex 3 times,
In the day?
and then yesterday I did something. So we have for those people who have been wanting more sex talk, this is the episode.
This is it. We've
This
been
is
in
it.
it. We immediately were like, we're more than just
We're
holes. And now,
more
and then
than just holes
we literally went right back to doing the exact same thing.
that we do all
Um,
the time. Okay, you go first.
well, I'll start with my first thing. So last
Okay.
Friday, I like went out
And
with
then
my,
I'll go to Tuesday.
well, no, and then I have something on Sunday.
Well, then you do Friday, and then I'll do my Tuesday. Then you do Sunday, and I'll do last night. We'll go. We'll like exchange interchange like that.
Okay, sure, whatever.
Okay, right.
So so last Friday I go with my friend Bobby. We get out and get go out for drinks in Clinton Hill and go to this bar that she is like by her apartment or whatever, and she knows the bartenders. And so we I do three margaritas. I do three margaritas and then three shots because the
What?
bartender, huh?
Shots?
Because
You?
she knew, so she knows the bartender, and the first time he's like, "Oh, run a shots," and we were like, "Oh, sure, sure, sure." He like pours them out, whatever, and we all do them together.
Oh,
And
tequila?
no, I don't even remember what it was. It was a darker liquor. I don't remember what it was.
What did it taste like?
Very medicinal. It tasted like cough syrup.
Oh, it was Fernet.
Maybe I don't know, maybe. But so then we did that, and then I did a margarita, and then we did another round of shot, and then he like brings out shots again. He's like, because we were there for a while. And then I did fucking three margaritas, and I was drunk. I was drunk, but I was like sober enough where I was like, I'm horny. And before, because we had recorded the pod earlier in the day. And so then I went and as soon as Prue left my apartment, I douched. I douched and I was like ready to go because I was like, you know what? I'm going out tonight. I was like, I'm feeling fun, flirty. Like, I kind of want to like maybe have a hookup. And so then we decided to like part ways. At this point, it's like 11:30. It wasn't even that late, and I was tipsy. And so then I'm walking home because it was a beautiful like the weather was so nice. I was like, you know what? I'm close enough where I'll just walk. And as I'm walking home, I get a message on Sniffies from this guy that I've talked to kind of like on and off, like here and there, but we've never met up. And he hits me up and he like resends me his photos or whatever. And he was like, "Hey, like, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just like leaving the bar after like hanging out with a friend." I was like, "What about you?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm leaving a birthday party right now." He was like, "I'm in the area. I don't need to go home yet. What are you like, you want to hang out?" And I was like, "Wait, you should come over." So then he was like, "Okay, cool, I'll get on the train." And I said, "Oh no, like I'm walking home. Like I'm not gonna get home for like another 30 minutes." And so he's like, "Okay, I'll be slow." So then I like power walk
Who
to
would
like
play him? Who would
home.
play him?
Um, ooh, that's like a really good question. Who would play him? He's kind of like he's like if he's like a nerdier version of like Little Nas X.
Oh, just your type.
And so then he like I'm standing outside my apartment because I get there first and I tell him and I'm like, okay, I'm outside my apartment. I'll just like wait for you outside because he was telling me that he was like almost there. And he comes up to me and I see him and he's tall. He's like 6'2" or something. And he like comes up to me, he's like, hey, grabs my face as soon as he sees me, starts making out with me, and it's so good. We like go back up to my apartment, get into my bedroom, whatever. I'm showing him around. He's like taking it. He's like, wow, like kept complimenting me, telling me how like cute I am, like all this stuff. We get along very well. And then next thing I know, we're like making out in my bed, and then we like get naked, and he pulls down his pants, and I literally gasp and slap my
Boom,
hand.
boom, 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 boom.
Go, it is the biggest dick I have ever seen in my entire life. I am not joking.
It's always the nerdy ones, Diva.
Girl, it was 9 inches long, but like the girth of a Diet Coke can. Like I'm not even kidding. And that was flaccid. That was flaccid. That was flaccid. And I literally saw that and I literally looked at him and I went, "That's crazy." And he was like, "What?" And I said, "Oh, that's never gonna happen." I was like, I can't. And he's like, no, no, no. I believe in you. You got this. And I was like, okay. And then we're making out and stuff. And like, I was like, his dick, I can't take it all the way down. Normally, like, what I love about myself is that my throat can open up so wide.
You have no
And
gag reflex.
truly, I could not fit that whole thing in
Honey,
my.
your throat ain't gagging. Title of it.
I'm not gagging. The title of that. I'm not gagging. And I literally couldn't fit all the way through. And like, I got so like disappointed in myself. I was like, no, I want to take the whole thing. But I was like, it's 9 inches long, girl. Like, it's okay. You don't have to take the whole thing. And so then he was like, "Do you want to have sex?" And I was like, "Girl, I would love to have sex with you, but I don't think my body can do that. I like genuinely don't think." And he's like, "No, no, no." He's like, "Don't worry. Like, we'll make sure you're ready." And I said, "Okay, honestly, like, let me grab my poppers." And he was like, "No, I think we can do it without." And I was like, "Okay, girl. Like, that's."
No, I would be
No,
like, listen, you're not the one putting it in your butt. I need the poppers.
but I think because his dick is so big, I'm sure he runs into this so many times because he also told me that he loves fingering. So he spent so much time fingering me or whatever and like warming me up to like be ready to like take him. And then eventually he puts the tip in and I literally am like and then I was like, "Oh my God, are you in all the way?" And he goes, "That was just the tip."
Are you
Uh,
in all the way, girl?
And then and then and
He's like on the opposite side of the bed. You're
there's like
like, are
this
you?
much space between us. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I was like, is it in on the way? And then all of a sudden, then he like went a little bit more in, and I go, oh my God, okay, I think you're all in now. And he goes, no, 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 I'm only halfway. And I was like, halfway? And then finally he gets all the way in, and I'm literally like, ah! I managed to take the whole thing by the grace of God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the grace of God, managed to take the whole thing. And then he's fucking me. And it is so good. Like he was pounding me out. And then eventually I did get the poppers and then we were both hitting them and we were both like really into it. But then at one point he like moves me to the edge of the bed and so he's standing and he's like fucking me while I'm like on my back. And then
But
all of a sudden,
my
what?
question is, whenever somebody like with a big dick fucks me, in like the it's so with you, was it the main goal first was to get the dick in all the way?
Yes,
Because
he went so slow.
well, because what happens to me often with bigger dicks is we like go back and forth with like only half of it in or whatever, and then pull back out and then try it again, but like go because it seems like he just like his first purpose was to get it all the way in first,
Yeah.
which is I mean more kudos to you, mama, for like just like in a freaking like you're just like making it go all the way in from the
He
get
did like a
go.
little when he put the tip in, he was kind of going like in and out a little bit just to sort of like loosen it up. But then when
Yeah,
he
and
got
recommendation for any top listening, a townsperson was a top, that usually does help.
Yeah, and then when he was at the halfway mark, that's when he sort of was just like trying to get it all in, but he went so slow and he was like talking me through it, which was like really sexy. He knows what he's doing. Like like he has a big dick. I'm sure
Yeah,
he
he's lived
he
with it.
he's lived with it his whole life, so like it makes sense. And so then anyway, so I was on the edge of the bed and he's standing, he's fucking me and he's like pounding me out, and all of a sudden he goes, "Oh my God, like you're bleeding." And he goes, "Did I
Oh
hurt?"
god.
And then he was like, "Did I hurt you?" And then I made a joke and I was like, "Honestly, I'm numb from the waist down, so I literally can't feel anything
That's the title of that. Numb from
from
the
the
waist
waist
down.
down." And then he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh no, no, no. Like I don't it doesn't hurt. Like you're totally fine." And he was like, "Okay." And then I will say the white comforter on my bed, I didn't have enough time to like put a towel down because we like by the time that we got into my apartment, he was like kind of like at me like from the very beginning. So I didn't grab a towel until after we noticed that I was bleeding. And so then there is some blood on that white comforter. And so I did, I was supposed to I had to wash it I did laundry yesterday and I did like use like stain remover on it as soon as he left because I was like, you know what, like I'll just be proactive. And then I was like, I'll do laundry at the end of the week and I'll just wash it. But then yesterday I did laundry and I was so tired and I was like, had so much other, there's like clothes and stuff to wash that I just didn't feel like lugging an entire comforter. So I was like, I'll save it for later or I'll just get a duvet
Listen, it's your
cover.
own blood, sister.
And I was like, I'll get a duvet
It came
cover.
from you. You can twirl around in bed. It's yours.
Oh, yeah. No, And it's like, it's a little trophy. It's a real reminder of what my body can do. But so then,
Well,
anyway, so then all of a sudden, so we were fucking for a while, and then he got tired, and like I was tired too, because at this point it was like 2, 3 in the morning. And he's like, I'm so sorry. Can we take a break? He's like, I just need a second. I said, yeah, no worries. And so then we were in my bed and just like cuddling or whatever. And then he was telling me, because he lives in Flatbush. So like, it's, it's sometimes, did you get from one place in Brooklyn to another place in Brooklyn?
it's like cross towns. It's hard.
It's difficult. And so he was like, oh, my commute home's going to be such a pain in the ass. And I was like, you know what? He seems really chill. I like hanging
No,
I was like,
no.
I like
No.
hanging out with him.
No.
So I said, listen, do you want to spend the night? I was like, if you don't have to, but like if you don't want to go all the way home, like don't feel like you're more than welcome to spend the night. And he was like, really? And I was like, sure. And he was like, wait, I would love to. And I said, okay. And so then we didn't, neither of us finished. We just like went straight into then like getting into bed. And then like he held me the whole night and we slept. And then in the morning, we kind of hooked up a little bit again. And then he had to go to work because he works in events. And so his like company was doing a wedding or something. And so then he's like, oh, I have to go to like do work this wedding today or whatever. And so then I like walked him, he like got dressed, like walked him to the door or whatever. Oh, and it was so funny too because before we went to bed, he was like, hey, this might be a weird question, but like, you have a lot of hair. Do you like wrap it
Oh
up when you go to
God.
bed? And I was like, oh yeah. And he goes, do you have an extra like scarf or something I can use? And I said, oh my God, yeah, of course. And so then I gave him like a little like silk little scarf to like wrap around because he has dreads, like little short baby dreads.
Hmm.
And so then he like wrapped his head up or whatever. And then I was like, you know what? I wasn't going to, but let me put my hair in my silk scarf. So I literally put on my
Yeah,
grandma
'cause at
bonnet.
this point, girl, the gig is over. He already, put it
Well,
in.
and he
So
said, and he told me he was like, your hair looks so healthy and beautiful, and I was like, stop.
listen, you're with the right crowd too, who will understand what it takes to take care of hair. So, no shame, diva.
No, no. And so I put my little granny bonnet on, and then we slept together in bed, and it was so nice. And then he woke up in the morning, and he kept making out with me, and he's like, you're so beautiful, and I was like, yes, keep telling me that. The dick was crazy, and I was sore. I was sore for like 3 days afterwards, and I
So
do have a
when's the next
hemorrhoid.
hangout?
I do have a hemorrhoid.
How do you get check shot?
So I messaged him like 2 days after and I
Oh
said, oh,
God.
how did the wedding go? And then he responded on Thursday and he was like, oh, it went really well. Like, how are you? Like, how's your week going? And then I responded and he hasn't responded to me yet, but he's like on and off on the app. So like, he's not like on it consistently. He was online yesterday though, but he didn't respond to my message. It's fine. Like, that's something that I could not do that consistently. That's like way too big to be
No,
doing on a regular
beyond that, I
basis.
felt like it was like a nice sleepover. It's that the things that Nick dreams of, like being in your
Oh, it was like
bonnet with your partner,
it was
cuddling in
exactly
bed.
and like he had like the perfect amount of body hair too, and he was just like ripped. I was just like he was so sexy and he was such a good kisser. Like it was just a really good hookup. And I again like I was probably gonna have to go on crutches for a couple of days post just because like mama, ooh, that butthole hurt.
Well, the
But
way that my sister Nick and and we've talked about this on the podcast so many times, but the way you and I sync in so many ways, because I also had a bleeding situation.
wait, was this your Tuesday?
We matched. No, that was gonna be originally my story for the pod because it hasn't happened in forever. But I hooked up. This is not the actual story. My first one. This is like the preamble, I guess. But originally, I was gonna tell the story of me hooking up with North Carolina North Carolina guy who we've talked about here in the pod previously.
Right.
And I hadn't seen him in forever, and it seems like he was in like a weird headspace. So we finally hooked up. And it was so funny because we hooked up right before I was gonna go meet town council member, founding member John to we were gonna do something. And I literally was so horny and I was like, hey, North Carolina guy, I've got 10 minutes. Do you think you
10
could
minutes?
come? Yes. We only have 10 minutes to get dig down. Title of the map. And he's like, oh my God, because he lives like literally just a block and a half from me. So I don't know. He was like so funny. I was about to text you, and I was like, well, if you're horny and I'm horny, if you've got 10 minutes, he's got a big dick. He's the one that I've talked about that like not only is it long and girthy, it's like 9.5, but it also like bends down. So just finding the angles is really particular. But I
Mm-hmm.
was so horny. And so he comes over, and then it was so funny because I was like, okay, listen, I'm comfortable enough with you. Like, we don't have to play around or do anything. Like, I'm gonna set a timer because I need to leave here in 10 minutes. And he was like, perfect, that's great. And so we were having sex, and then I was so into it. And it's so funny because you think with a bigger dick, like you would need more time. But I guess my mind knew better. My mind knew
Your hole just opened up. She
the
said,
whole opened up, honey. When I tell you it was game on. He
You were Yzma and Ember's new group. Release the lever crunk.
when he finishes, because we finished at the same time, I look at my phone, 27 seconds left. The way that we timed that. And then guess what? He pulls out. I look down because I'm like sliding off because people, the visual learners, this is the comforter that I have now, just like this thin, like whatever. I pull out, I'm like dismounting and I'm like, bloop, and I look down, blood everywhere. And I was like, oh, and of course, we're so fucked in the head as bottoms that we would rather see blood than paint. So
Oh,
when I
100%.
saw,
I would rather see red than brown.
oh, so I'm just like, oh my God. But then I'm like, oh, I'm bleeding. And he's like, oh my God. And I'm like, are you okay with that? He's like, no, of course, but are you okay? Do you need assistance? Like, can I get you something? And I was like, oh no, but like, wow, I guess I was so into it. So we both had a bleeding incident, which I originally was gonna be my story because I've been trying to get back to bottoming. I'm trying to get back to my roots,
Right. Back to basics.
but I don't know what happened with me this past Tuesday. That I was running errands and I was just like in some horny space when I woke up. I got uh DM from this guy who like I've never hooked up with before, but he lives in the area. And it's funny, once you change your tags on Grinder, you
I'm
start
sorry.
getting one responses from people that you would never typically not
What
get a
did you change your What did you change your tags to?
from bottom to verse bottom. And so it turns
That's
out,
it? That's it?
yes,
That's the only difference?
but turns out that like the number of verse bottoms shooting their shot with other verse bottoms is much higher than I anticipated. Like the pipeline of verse bottom asking other verse bottoms, "Hey, do you feel like topping?" Like turns out what I thought was like so innovative and so daring and so Peru like, honey, all these verse bottoms, it's just forget mask for mask, verse bottom for verse bottom title of app because they are out there shooting their shot. So now naturally these verse bottoms are shooting their shot with me. And when I'm telling you, two verse bottoms and one full bottom shot their shot with me on Tuesday.
You
Number
fucked
one,
all of them?
just wait, because I have audio too.
What do you mean you have audio?
I have audio of something that I know tells people Nick is going to absolutely hate. I
Oh my
know
God.
I would bet $5 million right now.
I'm nervous.
So it's not crazy, but I know you're gonna hate it. So number one, before 10 a.m. I woke up early. I had like an early morning, was getting Clover out to pee real quick because we hadn't taken him out like late enough the night before. So I was like, I have to wake up a little earlier to get him out to pee at least. Hits me up. He's like, hey, like he was like, oh, like I'm so horny and I've seen you around the grid. Like, do you wanna come over? Who would play him? He was this 41 dude. He looks like 41-year-old dude who looks a little bit who looks Jeremy Renner. Jeremy Renner.
Oh,
Jeremy
okay.
Renner, but like uh uh oh yeah, actually Jeremy Renner a little skinnier. Just a little skinnier. So I'm coming over and I'm like, okay, like whatever. I woke up super horny and I was like, I've never had the luxury to wake up this early and not have to prep. And I was like, I want to see what that feels like. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, are you ready? Because I can walk over right now. So like I'm walking over. It's only like 5 blocks from my place. I throw on my Sniffy shorts. Thank you, Sniffies. And then my
Shout
hoodie.
out.
Shout out. And so I go there and I'm trying to like get him prepared. I'm like, okay, I want to find you, like ass up, whatever, like because that's my thing right now. And he's like, well, actually, like I don't think I
That's my
can
thing
get
right now. I want you ass
something right
up. It's
now.
just like super, like just something a little chill.
So he goes, I don't think I can get ass up because I just had a medical procedure done to my face that I can't be face down too long. And then in my head, I was just like, oh no, I'm not about to go to some Botoxed out freaking like 41-year-old's place.
No, she
But
probably got FFS.
so it wasn't. Turns out it was some because I saw his face because the door was open. I got in second floor. He like come here, and I walk in, and now like I'm getting really good at taking my clothes off really quickly. Like I've been really practicing that. So like anytime I have any of these gigs, if I know I'm
Come on,
horny,
quick change.
come on, quick change. If I know I'm horny and I may be potentially just taking off my clothes quickly, I make sure I'm not wearing my overalls like I did last time with like my little like jean tote bag. Like no, I gotta make this easy. I gotta make this just a hoodie, shorts, quickly take off, quickly to put back on. So I go there and then I try to see and I'm like, okay, he looks like he said, oh no, like I had this thing done to my nose and I was like, okay, I don't need to know what you got done. It's okay. You don't look like Demi Moore before it settled in. So he looked fine.
Okay.
So did it. Um, his hole, and I'm finding this out too. Like a lot of the hole placement on guys is different. Some like are a little lower than the taint, some are higher. And for this guy, like I understood what it feels like when you're a top and like they put the pillow underneath you. Now I understand why they do that because sometimes like the reach is just not there. So I
You
was
didn't
like,
realize that beforehand?
well, I knew why they were doing it, but I never had the experience of it. I never experienced it for myself.
Okay.
The idea of
Mm-hmm.
just like literally being like, oh, like I can't reach, so I need you higher up.
Okay.
So okay, so that was number one. Then I was heading to Midtown because I wanted to print something, and this usual kiosk I go to print something like and it's usually cheaper, than doing like at a Staples. So I googled it, and I was heading to the Bryant Park area. So then this guy, I'm like, get on Grinder, and then this guy is like on the new looking now thing on Grinder,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know. Do you go on it at all? Do you like even like peruse it to see who's nearby looking?
Not really. Like I kind of look at it, but I forget that it's there most of the time. I don't ever post in it, and
Me neither,
um,
but I will say, like, just as a recommendation for people, if you think the crossover between like just going on Sniffies then for people who are looking actively than Grinder, it's different people. And I can vouch for this now because the people that are using the Grinder feature looking now are actually not on Sniffies.
well, it's because a lot of the people on Grinder, like I've talked to a lot of guys that like I've met up on Grinder and been like, "Oh, have you guys used Sniffies before?" And a lot of guys like turn their nose up to Sniffies and they're like, "Oh no, I would never use that." And
Yeah,
it's
which is
like,
kind of crazy. I think that's just like so, I think it's internalized, don't you think? I think it's just
no, it's a
them
little bit
not
because
wanting
I
to.
think it's because like because it is sort of marketed as more so like a cruising app, like you're looking for then and now, and I think some people are a little too prude to admit that that's what they're looking for. But it's like, bitch, you're on Grinder looking for sex. Like
Of
you're on
course. Where
looking
do you think the
now.
idea of Grinder came from? Because of cruising,
No,
like
totally.
in the digital
So I
era.
just like I'm always like kind of giggling to myself when like a gay man is like, oh, I've never used Sniffies. I have no desire to use it. Like that's not for me. I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
okay, sure.
So so then I go on there just to see, and so I see a photo. This other guy who, funny enough, the guy number one and guy number two, same vibe. 41-year-old again, I guess 41 for 41, two for two that day.
Yeah, you're going for like the older gentlemen these days.
Well, way into the third one. So
65.
so he's like his thing said hosting at Bryant Park like now. And I was like, oh, like let me get some photos. So we trade photos. He was still kind of the same like Jeremy Renner vibe because it looked kind of similar. But like some of these white boys just look the same. But they both had the same body frame, same, like body. Like they were like athletic but not ripped, which is great. It seems like they worked out, in their early 30s or whatever, and like they have the remnants of that in their 40s, which I think is great.
And all bodies are beautiful.
And always have beautiful. So I'm like, okay, like I'm in the area. I've got like, like 30 minutes. If you're hosting, he's like, yeah, like I'm in between, I'm like taking loads in between Zoom meetings because he was working from home that day. So he drops the address. Bitch lives on one of the high rises on freaking Bryan Park. Like
Oh,
the
so he got money.
the south facing one of they're in the middle. And I'm not trying to dox this person, but they are literally money. So he's like,
And a big old bottom.
oh, big old bottom with money, honey, which is the goal here. Please, I'm manifesting big old bottom with money. That's what we need. He's like, go to the 19th floor. Turns out the 19th floor has no elevator button because guess what? It's the
Penthouse.
penthouse.
Gag.
Before I head over, he's like, "Is it okay if I record?" And I was like, "Well, depends. Like, do you do content?" And he doesn't do content, but he just likes to record like him getting loaded up. And he's like, "No worries. Like, I'm not gonna show your face. Like, I'll cover it." And then he goes like, "You'll see." And I was like, "I'll see." Like, what? He's gonna show me his equipment? Like, he's gonna give me like a tour of like
You
a
walk in, there's like there's like box lights or whatever, and like
oh. So I walk in and I go into the penthouse, and it's like a beautiful open faced like studio penthouse look that he
is he
like
like an open relationship gay or no?
I didn't ask.
Wait, did it wasn't on his profile?
Girl, do you think I'm looking at that?
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Nick's like writing it in his diary. He's like, okay, open relationship.
Oh my
Should
God.
I
Okay.
or should I not?
This just reminds me. I have to tell when you're done. I have to tell you something about from last night. But keep going. Keep going.
So anyway, so I go in and it's beautiful, and then I see him like through this bookcase, like he's ass up, and like I see a camera, and then I'm like, oh, what's happening? And then I look to my right, and a huge flat screen TV has him on the bed with his ass in it. And I was like, what is this? The saw of like fucking adult content? What is going on? And I look at that, and at first I'm like, wait, like, am I being recorded? Like, what's happening? I was a little bit skeptical, but then I realized he's got the camera set up to where it's playing live on his TV, and it's just him, so he can see himself on the TV get fucked.
Oh my God, that is too much.
And so I walk in, and I'm like, like
It's like
again,
an episode
like
of Black
beep, beep,
Mirror.
beep, beep, beep. And I'm like, I go in there, and as soon as I step into frame, like I can see myself on the TV.
And you're like, wait, the camera does add 10 pounds.
So then I start fucking him, and then like I do it all, and like he and the thing is, like, lately I've been fantasizing with, like, when I watch like a porn of like the guys wearing the coyote jock straps or the coyote thongs. I really like, I want to get back to a financial place where I can afford coyote branded stuff, and honestly we can work on getting coyote merch. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about coyote because I love their brand.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, we'll look into it. And
Wait,
so,
did you ask for the footage for your reel afterwards?
oh,
You're like,
I
do I get a
have
cut
the
of that?
footage.
Oh, he gave it to you?
Yes.
Uh,
It was like going to a freaking photo booth, bitch. And I'm like, okay, do you want the QR code to your footage?
he's like, here, just scan your phone. I'll send it
Just
to you.
kidding.
Here's the Dropbox link.
And let me tell you, I'm even excluding another guy I topped the day before, after after I got out of work, that lives in Chelsea. Again, not he was I think he was like 43, was married, lived on the top floor of his Chelsea building, and he these let me tell you, I don't know if I found a different brand of men who are into me, but these like 41, 42-year-olds are loving this. They're hitting me up. They're like, "Oh, I starred you. Oh, this, oh that." All these like freaking like bottoms with money who are married are into Miss Peru.
Well, Mama, let's try to use that to our advantage. Let's be a little
Well, I'm
house.
trying I'm
Let's get
trying to sell tickets, but then it's kind of hard, like, after you like load a guy up and be like, "Hey, by the way, do you want to come to my show?" Because then like it's like, I don't want to have like the entire Joe's Pub audience to just be like all these men I've fucked or have fucked me, which, by the way, I've never talked
they
about
bought
this yet.
tickets.
Hey, by the way, quick aside, townspeople, Peru Flores, White Savior is going up at Joe's Pub June 1st. Nick Rosenthal's going to be there helping me from the booth, doing incredible work. If you want to come see me, I'm going to be dancing. I'm going to be scantily clothed. I'm going to be talking about my teenage hood, moving from Peru to America. Peru Flores, White Savior at Joe's Pub, Sunday, June 1st. And if you're a townsperson and you feel like, damn, Diva, like these Joe Pub ticket prices are a little too expensive, like I need, hit me up, DM me. I'll give you a discount code for like a little bit of a discount. I know townspeople, we love a deal. We're all, on a budget. So
That part.
that
I'm out
part,
here
I'm
in
out here in Wyoming.
Wyoming
So if you're a townsperson who lives in New York City and you're free Sunday, June 1st, and you want to
or New
come,
Jersey or
or Jersey,
Connecticut.
you want to take the train, if you're in the tri-state area and want to come, but you may think the tickets are a little too pricey, DM me because I'll give you a discount. Anyway, back to the story. So, okay, so that's guy number two. We finished. They're all obsessed with me. That he hit me up. He texted me this morning. He was like, "Do you want to come?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry, too busy." So then you would think I'm like, you would think I'm done for the day.
Sure.
No, no more. No, the Ariana Grande had no more tears left to cry. I have no more loads left to give. But turns out, tell the map, no more loads left to give. Turns out, Mama Peru is on the train back up to my place. I'm on the one train, and the one train famously passes through the Upper West Side, which is like an area frequented a lot during my topping days. I get
As
hit
in
up.
last week.
Since I get hit up, and I want to pull up because I know I need to read it because I know Miss
Got no
Nick.
more loads to give.
Okay,
So I'm
okay,
giving them up,
boys.
giving them up. Okay.
So,
I'm fucking the
the
bottoms. I'm
profile
giving it
says
up.
the profile says mask and on bro bottom with a arrow down.
I hate
Uh,
it already.
I've got the photo, and actually, I can show the photo because it doesn't show like the person's face. It's just like a torso. Wait, should I show or should I not show? Is that so cool?
Just show. I want to
No.
see. I want to see it, but maybe I'll cut it.
But you can't. It's hard to cut the video.
What do you mean hard to cut the video?
Like editing the video is hard from the Zoom.
I will put it in iMovie.
Okay, well, and if we can't, I'm not doxing anyone's face because it's only a body. But this is the body. Wait, can you even see? Oh
Oh,
no.
I kind of. Hold
Oh
on. Is that like a tattoo on the chest?
no, it's from him like doing like mud rugby or something.
Oh, okay. Oh no, that's hot. That's hot. He's a
Yeah.
bottom.
So he's clearly yeah. So then he hits me up. 26-year-old hits me up, my contemporary.
Oh, he's 26.
Mm-hmm.
My sister.
My sister too.
Oh,
So
well,
well, actually a year older. So then hits
right,
me up
right.
and it's like, yo, already Nick's cringing.
That's it.
Oh,
That's his opening. That he hits you up and says, "Yo."
yeah.
I hate
And I'm
that.
like, okay. And I'm like, what's up? And then he's like, wanna load me up? And I'm like, maybe pics. So then he sends me this pic. Wait, should I show it?
I don't
I,
know.
are you
What is
sure
it?
you
His
can edit?
dick? Is it his dick?
No, it's not. But it's his butt. It's like him standing,
Well,
showing.
maybe don't show his butt.
Okay, well, you know what? I'll show you too. Well, actually, hold
Screenshot
on.
it and text it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Beep 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 beep. Oops. So then he sends me this photo. Let
I'm
me know
looking.
when you
Hold
get
on.
it.
Okay.
So he's clearly some jock bro, jock haircut.
Can I say something that's like probably gonna be offensive?
Oh, please.
He looks like he knows Miss Tina Turner, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
It's
you
giving
think?
it's giving like circuit. It's giving like circuit
No,
party like
he's absolutely circuit. But the thing is, like, he's like DL, you know? So I
he's
don't think,
DL.
yeah, I don't think his friends know if that's the case. Because we kept talking, and so then he sends me like a photo of his like face, but that's like a timed photo, that you can't open again,
I hate that. I hate
expiring
when they do
photo,
that.
and he literally just think of a circuit white gay with a scruff.
I mean, from that photo, you can see like part of his like side profile. It is
Yeah,
giving circuit party gay.
yeah. The Hell's Kitchen gay
Which
T
kind of like where does he live?
in
Upper
the
West
Upper
Side?
West Side.
It's unfortunately like the closet that he's in is probably glass to his friends, or they're all just like in deep denial about it.
Well, we'll see. So then he's like, more pictures, bro. Like send me more.
Yo,
Oh, so it's a whole bro situation. So you know what? Again, like all these guys that like probably wouldn't be into me if it were a different scenario. I'm like, I want to go. I've never done like, mask, like and on bro. Like this is not someone that would ever like really like fuck with unless they're a top. you know? If they're a top, I've had a couple of those instances for sure. Like I've gotten fucked, but I've never done that. And I'm like, I want to know what the dynamic is of like me, Peru, like fucking some mask bro. Like I want to know what that is like, because you know you only live once. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming up. So like literally the train was about to pass like the 70s. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna hop off and then I'm gonna hop on. So
Okay. Okay.
so I'm like, hey, right by your address. Can you let me know how to get in?
I'm right outside, bro. Let me in.
Wait. So when I hear what he said,
What?
I mean it's not crazy, but it's just funny. Okay. Oh fuck. Hold on. My AirPods were connected. Hold
He
on.
sent you an audio message?
Yeah.
Damn. It's probably him trying to put mask up his voice to like buzz this
Oh
number.
fuck, I tapped it by accident.
Well, girl,
Okay, well, too late now. He's online too. Fuck. Wait, hold on. I need to. Fuck. What do I do? Okay,
what do
he's.
you
Well, I just randomly tapped his audio message. It's kind of fucking weird.
well, you could just be like,
I'm just gonna be.
listening
I'm just
back to
gonna be.
the
Oh,
thinking just back to how sexy your voice
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I'm just
sounds.
gonna say like, hey, like you wanna another one, bro? Okay, hold on.
What if he's like, yeah, come over right now? You're like, oh, sorry, I'm in the middle of recording my podcast.
No, I'll have to go because it was good. Okay, wait. So, okay, so here's what he said. Uh, it has to play. Hold on, like it has to play through. Okay. And I want you to listen to actually what he's saying, not just the voice, but I want you to listen to what he's saying.
Bro, when you get here, you're gonna come in door 2D. That's my bathroom door. Come in, close the door, go in through the other door, close that door.
Oh, the volume was so low. You couldn't hear, could you? Okay.
I just heard come to the bathroom
Okay, hold on, hold
door.
on, hold on, hold on. I'll play one more time for everyone in the back.
Bro, when you get here, you're gonna come in door 2D. That's my bathroom door. Come in, close the door, go in through the other door, close that door, and you'll see me ass up.
You'll see me as up. He is trying to
Bro,
hide that. He is trying to
bro,
cover that fag scent up so hard.
bro, you gonna come in apartment
Bro, you're gonna
2D,
come in 2B,
apartment
and then you're gonna
2D.
go through the door, and then
There's my
another door.
bathroom, and then when I open the other
I'll
door.
be ass up.
But the funny thing is that when I heard that, first I was like, okay, bro, which I did text. I
I
did
would have,
say, okay, bro.
but if it would have been me, I would have been like, okay, with a bunch of
Yes, I know.
Y's.
No,
Okay,
no, you would
bro.
you would have said KK.
Yeah, I would have.
So what I gathered from that was like, wait, I'm gonna open the door and your bathroom is gonna be there. I was like, what do you mean? Honey, I opened the door to this man's apartment on the Upper West Side after getting through the freaking door person. The door literally opens to the bathroom. Like the opening door to his apartment starts with the bathroom. That's a
Oh.
if people who don't live in New York City don't understand how these old ass buildings work, some of these buildings have the main entrance to your apartment
Is
as
it
the
like a
bathroom.
is it like a railroad style apartment where it's just like one long hall?
No, I know
Oh.
it's like a tiny apartment because then I went to the bathroom and then it was
They
so
live
funny because
alone?
well yeah because it was a tiny space. It was like I went
26
in.
and lives alone on the Upper West Side. What does he do for work?
But honey, it's like a fucking matchbox. It's like tiny.
Okay, but he still lives alone, girl.
Yeah,
He's
but
probably
I don't want my apartment to be the bathroom. Imagine hosting a freaking like game night and everyone has to come through your bathroom. Imagine
I would
someone's
do that
taking
to live alone.
honey, imagine someone's taking a big old shit and then they're like, "Hey, we're outside. We've got the beers." And then you're like, "Wait, I have to finish taking my shit so you can come inside."
Just make sure you got that poopery on stock, mama.
Girl, no. So then I come in, and then at that point I really had to pee. So I was also like, okay, bro, but also I'm gonna pee real quick. So then I could hear him being like, "You there, bro?" And I was like, "Yes, just give me a second. I need to pee." And then I was undressing in the bathroom, and I went in. I have to say, the guy was really hot. Like he was so hot, but it was like so funny because like he was wearing this like baseball cap, and I was like, okay, he really wants to. So again, Miss Peru had to pull out that acting training, and I had to be like, "You ready for that load, bro? You
I
fucking
hate
want
that.
it." Like
I
the
hate it.
whole thing, the whole thing. And it was so funny because he was like being so like, and this is my suspicion as to why I believe that he's actually DL, or he may not be out to his friends or like whatever, or maybe he's like he likes to bottom, but he's new because when I first like because he was asked up whatever. When I first went in to fuck him, I'm used to these other two guys from earlier that day just being like, fucking put it in and like fuck me now.
Just
But
put it in.
I I go in and I start going in, and then he instantly goes from like from his bro demeanor. He's like, oh, he's like, oh, slower, slower, and I was like, Jesus. I was like, I've never been told
And
that.
there's the fag scent. The fag scent comes out.
But beyond the accent, it was more like the idea that, like, listen, again, I've said on this podcast, I'm not hung, so it's not like I'm making anyone bleed in any of these gigs, you know. Like, I'm comfortable, but it's just like it was the first time in my topping history that I've been told to slow down, and I was like, oh, oh. I was like, and I was like, no, but I'm like, I'm in character. Like, I can't just be like, oh, it's okay. So I was just like, you got this.
You can take it. Come
You
on. Push out. Push out.
and then he got really into it, and then like when I was done, like he was like, bro, yeah, bro, oh, loud, I want you to come loudly, bro, like all these bro things. Like we broed out, we broed out, and then I bred, and then I was like, good boy. And then he just like laid there and he was sweating. I was like, what is going on? Like, you put in the work, girl. Kudos, diva. Like, you really did that. And then I was like trying to look around, but then I was like, no, I kind of gotta get out of here. And then I like went back, like cleaned up a little bit, and then I left. And then I was like, good boy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
But this just
Oh,
remind
responded.
what do you say? I can't read that. It's I can't see, girl.
Oh,
You just have to read
yeah.
it.
Free around 6 to 7.
Mama, you're working.
Mama. Oh, well, that's my response. Mama, I'm working.
That's what I would do. No, this just reminds me last night, I when I went out to dinner at Waverly Diner, all of a sudden there was this table behind us of like these two like older people and this guy who like looked like he was in his 30s. And he got up and he like walked past the table that I was at with my friend Gabby. And he like goes to the bathroom and I recognized him and I was like, oh my God, Gabby, I've had sex with him.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabby was like, what?
Dang.
And I was like, I've had sex with a man. And this man, when I had sex with him, this was in college. This was like my senior year. I think I had sex with him 3 times, but it was like I think it was the second time I had sex with him. We were fucking and he was fully inside of me. And I've talked about this. I made a TikTok and went like really, really viral at the time. But like we were on his couch, I'm riding him, and all of a sudden he goes, damn, I think I'm still in love with him.
Yeah. Oh,
And I was like, in love with who? And he was like, my ex. And mind you, he was like fucked up. He was like really drunk. And he was like, my ex. He was like, he wanted me to tell him that I loved him. And he's like, but I just didn't think I was gonna be there yet or if I'd be ready. And then, now I know I am. I am in love with him. Mind you, man is fully inside of me
you did
the whole
that.
time as he's telling me this. And I was like, oh, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I should probably go. Anyway, I saw him last night and he was having dinner with his parents. And Gabby was like, wait, he's kind of hot. And I was like, well, yeah, obviously, girl. That's why I had sex with him. Dick was skinny. Dick was skinny and it had like a weird sort of like birthmark on it that was kind of like not cute. And I could feel it when he was fucking me. So it like added a little extra texture.
Girl, if you feel that, you won't be able to fuck the guy with the Prince Albert that I like to fuck.
I would never. I'm unfortunately so sorry to any townsperson out there with a Prince Albert. I do not want to have sex with a Prince Albert. I have
And
hemorrhoids,
also,
girl.
no shade to anybody in the towns that may have a skinny dick. All penises are valid.
Right, but if I fucked someone with a Prince Albert, that would hook onto my hemorrhoid and rip it off. Like I'm not even joking. Like that's what would happen. And then you
You
thought
would
I bled
bleed
on
out. You would
Friday?
bleed
Oh,
out.
trust me, be gushing. It's be gushers up in this bitch.
Gosh, that's me because we have
um,
so many potential titles of Ebb. I really hope that we make a good decision for this because we have a lot of options.
do you have a pioneer for the week?
Already?
Well, it's already 110.
No way.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, well, I still have damn, I guess I'm gonna have to save my crazy story from last night for behind the paywall because Diva, I did something yesterday that I've never done before.
Oh God, I'm nervous.
Hey,
If you
you
want to
still
hear
haven't told
that,
me one story.
which one did I not tell you?
You said you had two. Because I was like, you were gonna talk about uh Sunday
Oh,
and then
Sunday. Oh, Sunday was just the. I think I did. I texted you. I was. I'll
okay,
talk
well we'll
about that.
talk about it. We'll talk
We'll talk about
okay,
the Patreon. But
okay,
if you want to hear that, if you want to hear us talk about the Patreon, you can subscribe to our Patreon. Link in the description. I know some of you have expressed that. Have people expressed that they don't like that we're like, oh, we're saving the juicy stuff for Patreon?
no,
Have
I
people said
actually
that?
don't think so. But to be honest, like the content really is there. And today, if there was one week that you wanted to try, this one I would have talked about this on a regular episode, but we are out of time and we have to
Well, yeah, because
record. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to move on to the Patreon. But this it's gonna be so juicy. It's gonna be sex forward for that one person who did end up unsubscribing from our Patreon. I will say.
actually we had two. We had someone also unsubscribe a couple
We
days
had
ago.
two, but maybe they didn't listen. But that one person who left that nasty comment that I did not like and was called out
Unsubscribed.
unsubscribed. So they
Wow.
left the town, and I wish them the best on their search for a different town, but this town wasn't for them. But everyone who's listening and watching this is your town, and we love you and we appreciate you. Come over to the town council or Trust and Believers. A lot of
Okay,
fun stuff.
Pioneer.
We're also doing a bonus episode that's being released in 2 days. My
What's your Pioneer?
pioneer. Honestly, my pioneer has is gonna be my roommate girlies who came through with the charger to charge,
Yeah,
so I
T.
actually could record. So my pioneer is Bess and Ebony. Thank you, girlies.
My trailblazer for the week is gonna be Pink Panthers, her new mixtape I've been listening to. Really, really good. I kind of love that bitch. Like I mean, I've always kind of liked her, but she's becoming a diva for me. So shout out Pink
She's a
Panthers.
diva. Yeah, I love her. And anyway, if you wanna follow us for more stuff, come on our social media at Pioneers and Trailblazers on Instagram, at Pioneers and Trailblazers on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcast. Please, actually, we haven't reminded you this in a little bit, but go there and leave us a comment if you're a visual learner. Go there, leave a review on Apple Podcast. We want to continue. We do have, we did talk at the very top of the season that this is going to be a shorter season and we're going to be addressing that soon. So just a heads up if you want, to continue supporting us while we may be going on hiatus soon again, do so. And then until then, we'll see you next week or on the Patreon. Oh, follow me at Hey Peru, Joe's
Bye.
Pop, Jude first.
Okay, bye.